Here's what I think. It wouldn't shock me if MJF actually breaks up the Blackpool Combat Club. I just feel like eventually that might happen. But do I think MJF is somewhat overrated? Yes, he is. Man, he might be the definition of overrated. Like, he's all hype. Now, I never say anything positive about Dean Ambrose, but I'm going to say something positive about Dean Ambrose. That was a very eye-opening promo he cut on AEW Dynamite, on Max. That was a great promo because it really, dude, that promo really opened up my eyes about Max being really overrated. Like, holy shit. This dude said that MJF, he only has one win within the past 6 fucking months. Hell, you can probably count on your hands how many wins MJF has had this year. Let that sink in. Why does everybody suck this guy's dick? Now, look, I think he's great. I think he has tons of upside, tons of fucking talent. He's a great talker. He has a good look. He has huge potential. But look, man, we gotta keep this same energy. I think he's all hype. And I think it's fucking Tony Khan's fault that he's overrated. Yes, it's not Max's fault, but it's Tony Khan's fault is the reason why MJF is overrated. How the hell your ass gonna have one win within the past 6 months and you get a fucking title shot? A world title shot, bruh. Really? That was an eye-opening fact. But if you notice, he hasn't been bragging about wanting to go to the WWF. Look, I think he has a good thing going on. Seriously. Dude, he makes good money. And all he does is fucking talk every fucking week. He never wrestles. So, bruh, you better stay where you at. Right? He needs to stay where he's at because you are a wrestler and you never wrestle. And you make good money and that's all you do is talk every week. I'm like, bro, he would never get away with this if he was in the WWF. It's like, you could make the argument he is the Bray Wyatt of all elite wrestling. Right? He talks a big game, but most of the time he loses. Right? He talks a big game, but most of the time he actually loses his feuds. Bro, how can he not be the Bray Wyatt of all elite wrestling? Right? Bray, all he does is talk, but he rarely wrestles, right? That sounds like Max to me. I mean, dude, he rarely wrestles. So what's the big hype? Right? Look, people say he's the Miz. Look, he is a very low budget Miz to me. He's a low budget Miz. Hell, y'all gotta put some respect on the Miz name, bro. Put some respect on that icon's name, because at least he wrestles every fucking week. So, is Max Miz? Because at least the Miz wrestles every fucking week. Does Max? No. Like, as I said, like, he's really overrated. Like, how the hell you gonna be the face of a couple? Like, he always brags about being the face. Dean Ambrose, he's not the face, right? He always says that, right? All his promos, he always says, I'm the real mascot of this company. I do this, I do that. I'm the face. No. Because look, at least Dean Ambrose wrestles every week. You don't. So you are just a face who talks every week. You are a talking head, right? No, I don't like that. See, you fans, you overrate people too high and you don't even grasp what's going on. I mean, damn. Is Max this good to the point where you ignore the fact that he doesn't wrestle every week? No, he rarely wrestles. Rarely. Even before he went on a vacation, when he was beefing with CM Junk and he was beefing with Wardlow, Max still, go back and watch his feud with Wardlow. He was rarely wrestling. Rarely. So what's the big hype? Listen, he's not Brock Lesnar, right? Brock is the exception. He's a legend. He's a fucking icon. He's a multiple-time world champion, future Hall of Famer. He's been there. He's fucking done that. He's done everything you could possibly do. So he is a prize fighter. He has the resume to prove it. So he doesn't have to wrestle every week. He doesn't have to wrestle a regular match on Raw or SmackDown. He's Brock Lesnar, right? He's famous. He's big. He's an icon. He's a prize fighter. That's different. At least Bray is a multiple-time world champion with a great character. But Max, it's like, bro, what have you done to earn that kind of a schedule? Dog, it's been 3 years. You haven't won not one title. Now, he might beat Dean Ambrose for it. He might, probably. If he beats Dean Ambrose, I truly believe he will break up the fucking Blackpool Fight Combat Club. Because if you look at it, as of late, they haven't been on the same page. That group has not been on the same page. They have been fighting, right? They haven't seen eye to eye. What's the name? Daniel Bryan and Wheeler Useless has been fighting. Listen, that fucking Blackpool Fight Club, that is a weird faction because why do they fight each other? How is that a group? I don't get it. How the hell your ass gonna be a faction and you fight each other? I think it's gonna be Cesaro and DB and Jericho and Sammy G. They will all be in the same match fighting for one title. I'm like, bro, we just had Dean Ambrose fight fucking Daniel Bryan. So how are you a group and you fight each other? How are you a group and you fight each other for the same title? Like, I don't get it. Why would Dean Ambrose fight Bryan for the world title knowing you guys are the same group? What does that solve? But look, it probably wouldn't shock me if William Regal actually turns on that group and sides with MJF. That would not shock me. But let's get back to Max. Look, I think he's overrated, man. He's really, really over fucking rated. Look, you can't keep sucking this guy's dick based on his fucking promo. Who cares about his promos? I don't care. It gets to a point where all his promos sound the fucking same. Right? Look, he is going down a very dangerous path. Where it's like, people keep saying he should never turn to a face. He should always be a heel. Okay, if he does that, he will be Baron Corbin. Have we ever seen a face Baron Corbin? Look what that has done to his career. That means Corbin has a ceiling. He's only good as a face. He's only good as a heel. Look, we've never seen Max as a face. So I say, why not try it? Bro, it's been 3 years. he's only been a heel. It's like he might be the only guy in all Elite Wrestling since that point that has never turned. When it comes to being a big name, it's like, bro, you gotta turn eventually. How good is he? Look, man, when you were a heel for a long time, your words start to mean less and less and less. Eventually, you will run out of fucking verbiage. It's been 3 years. All his promos sound the same. He needs to grow. I say, why not turn him face? Let's see how good he really is. He says he's so talented. Okay, if you're so talented, let's see you as a face. Can you get over as a face? Do you have the talent to pull off being a face? Look, you fucking dorks out there, you don't know shit about professional wrestling. You can't be a lifelong heel. It doesn't work that way. You have to eventually turn face. As the old saying goes, the best heels make for the best faces. So you have to turn eventually. Don't you want him to grow? How good is he? Right? The Rock, Stone Cold, those guys are great in any role you give them. Okay, let's see if Max is at that point. See, we don't know. So why would you put him in a fucking box? Let him grow. Let's see if he can get over it as a face. I would like to see it. Because that means he's fucking Baron Corbin. Hell, look, at least The Miz turned face multiple times. Now, keep in mind, The Miz is trash as he's trash as a face, obviously, but at least he tried. At least he tried to be a face. So I give him that credit. So anybody who fails as a face, hell, look, I gotta fucking respect him. I have to. Because at least you had the balls to try to reinvent yourself. It's been 3 years, man. When it comes to Max, like, bro, we've seen the best of your promos, man. You gotta come up with something else now. It's like, oh, now he calls himself a devil. All right, cool, whatever. But he is overrated. Because, dude, he never fucking wrestles, man. So I tell you, what's the big hype about? Now, I don't believe in the whole PWI rankings, but let's just say, okay, let's take it seriously right now. Where would he rank? You see what I'm saying? Now you see where I'm getting at? How can they ever rank him if he had only one win in 6 months? See what I'm saying? Where would he rank? I'm shocked he got a fucking world title shot. So how can he be one of the best when this dude doesn't even rank on a PWI list? Like, where would he fucking rank on that fake ass list? Nowhere. Based on he never wrestles. You can't call us the best because you talk the best. No, we gotta see you putting in work every week. The Miz puts in work because he earned it. He puts in work, right? I don't care how you feel about the Miz. At least he wrestles more than Max, right? Max is not in that category where, okay, if he doesn't have matches all the time, he will feel special. No. What has he done to feel that way? He's never won a title, so you can't put him in that category, right? He ain't no Edge. Edge does not have to wrestle every week. He's Edge. I would say Bray don't either. Bray is a multiple-time world champion who has a special gimmick, so he doesn't have to wrestle every week, right? Because he never calls himself the best of the best. See, Max, he fucking contradicts himself. He thinks he's the best wrestler in the world. How? Let this sink in. He calls himself the best in the world, but this dude only had one win in 6 months. How are you the fucking the best? Make that make sense. So I'm the best just because I talk the best? Dawg, it don't work that way. I'm a pro wrestler, right? You a pro wrestler. Being a great talker does not mean you are the best of the best of the best. What the fuck are you talking about? You don't wrestle. So he's all talk and all hype. I think that's what Dean Ambrose said. He's all hype. Until I see otherwise, he's all hype. And to me, would it be a bad thing if Max becomes a world champion? I think that would be a bad thing, right? See, people cry and complain that Roman Reigns does not wrestle every week, right? People cry and complain that Edge and Brock don't wrestle every week. People always was crying like, oh, Roman needs to drop one of those titles so we can have a champion on Raw every week wrestling, right? Well, Max has no titles under his belt. And yet, this dude has the same schedule as Roman fucking Reigns as of right now with no titles. Just imagine when he wins a fucking title. Just imagine what kind of schedule he will have. If he has the same schedule as Roman as a non-champion, just imagine when he wins the fucking belt. See, that's what I mean. He is walking on dangerous territory. Because eventually, people will compare him to Brock and Roman Reigns in a bad way. Because if he becomes a world champion, bro, he's never going to wrestle on Dynamite. Rarely ever. He will have that kind of a schedule. If he barely wrestles now with no titles, just imagine when he wins the fucking belt. See what I'm saying? So, you people calm down on Max. Calm down on MJF, man. He's all hype. But I don't think it's his fault. It's not his fault. It's Tony Khan's booking of MJF. That's what makes him overrated. He is very fucking overrated. The fact that he never wrestled on TV, and yet you have no belts. So how the hell did you get that schedule? That's what I mean by why the fuck would he want to go work for Triple H? Why? Why the fuck would he want to leave his cushy ass spot? Right? Max has a high spot in that company and he is booked as a god, right? And he never wrestles. So why would you want to go anywhere? Why would he want to leave? That makes no sense. So you have a Brock Lesnar schedule right now as we speak, but nobody talks about it. So why the fuck would you want to leave? How are you being treated bad? Bro, you never wrestle. All you do is cut promos every fucking week. To me, dog, Max has the dream job. Imagine after 3 years, you never win not one title, and yet you have a Brock Lesnar schedule. Let that sink in, people. He has a Brock Lesnar schedule. Why the fuck would he leave All Elite Wrestling? Because if he were to leave, Triple H will make his ass wrestle every fucking week. I guarantee it. Look. If The Miz is forced to wrestle every fucking week knowing he has a family at home, Just imagine Max. Triple H will make his ass wrestle every fucking week, so he might as well stay where he's at. You know what I'm saying? He has a good spot. He has a great spot in that company, so why the fuck would you want to mess that up? That makes no fucking sense. You are paid well with a Brock schedule, and you never won not one title. Make that make sense. So overall, I think Max might break up the Blackpool Fight Club. I think that group will eventually break up. Based on the fact that why the fuck do they wrestle each other? That makes no sense. But I think he will break up that group eventually. And I think Regal will team up with Max. But, okay, as of right now, I would choose Dean Ambrose to beat Max. But it wouldn't shock me if Regal turns on Dean Ambrose after the match. That wouldn't shock me. Because, look, I feel like it's too early to make Dean lose that belt. I think it's too early. It's like, come on, man. Max, he has won one match in 6 months. How does he deserve to beat Dean Ambrose? Like, that's stupid. So, Dean Ambrose is my pick to win, but it wouldn't shock me if Regal turns on him and sides with Max. Now, I am glad that Omega and the Bucks are finally coming back, because it just goes to show you that Tony Khan chose the Elite over CM Junk, as he should have. So I have no problem with them coming back and being handed those belts. I think they will win those titles back. But overall, I think Max is fucking overrated as hell, but it's not his fault. It's Khan's fault for giving him a Brock Lesnar schedule. Look, nobody calls Brock Lesnar the best in the world, do we? No. Now, look, I just want people to let that sink in. Max calls himself the best wrestler in the world, knowing that he rarely ever wrestles on the show every week. Let that sink in. That's it. I'm done.